Since this project came up, I knew that I wanted to do conspiracy theories. My problem was I didn't know which conspiracy theory I wanted to do. So I decided to start looking things up, and the first thing that I'm going to start with is what is a conspiracy theory? By definition, it is a belief that some influential organization is responsible for a circumstance or event. Now, I wasn't sure where exactly to go from here, so of course I looked up on Google and I just chose a random website. I did try and look at some things before recording this, but I really have no idea which website is which. So, going on here, waiting for it to load. So this one seems pretty cool, to be honest. So I'm gonna scroll through here, see what it's all about, and I find out that it is about just different conspiracy theories, and it actually has podcasts on it. So I start scrolling through, seeing if any catches my eye or if I'm interested in any of them, and I'm not too sure about any of these except for the moon landing, of course. So I decided to go back and type up one of my favorite conspiracy theories. So I'm not sure if this is something I need to go into detail to or not, but the death of Princess Diana. Now this one's super interesting to me, and there's so much information about it. So my next step is to look up on Google, and I scroll through and I'm just trying to find something that seems reliable, and so I find this one website after trying to scroll through a little bit. And of course, it's from YouTube, which is one of my favorite websites, so just listen to this.
From the time she met Prince Charles, Princess Diana Spencer became the nation's sweetheart. As such, when she, her lover Dodi, and driver Henry Powell tragically died in a car crash on August 31st, 1997, many in the country were devastated. However, grief turned to anger as more evidence emerged that Diana had been murdered, possibly by the royal family themselves. So from the mysterious white light and the anonymous bikers, to the proof that she was pregnant. Join us.
Now, this is definitely a conspiracy theory that I could spend days on, but that is not the point of this video. So my next step would be to go ahead and type in, is this conspiracy true, or could it be true? Because to me and everything that I've researched, it's 110% true. So there's not really any persuading me to believe that this is not true, but for the sake of research, I go ahead and try and find a website that might have a little bit more information. So I find this website and I start going through it, and of course it gives all the details and all the facts, but then an ad pops up, so I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. So anyways, I decided to go back to Google, back to my original searching engine, and I know that this video isn't supposed to be just 100% one conspiracy, or if it is, that's not what I want. So I go back to Google and I start searching up a different conspiracy. And of course, I decided to go with the 9/11 terrorist attacks because what's more controversial than that? So I decide to start scrolling through and just trying to pick out a website. And so I try and scroll back up and I find one from BBC News. So, I mean, that seems pretty credible to me, so that's why I chose it. And I mean, I just remember where I was the moment that this happened. I was actually in preschool, so it's not really like I remember exactly, but just scrolling through this just makes me so sad because it's just insane that something like this could happen here, let alone there be a conspiracy theory about it being an inside job. So I go ahead and I scroll through this website because I'm just trying to see where people stand, what exactly it's going to be about, if I could use any of this information in my research. And I actually come across this quote in this article, and it says, conspiracy theories often emerge as a result of this need for an explanation that's proportional to the event itself. Now, I don't know about you, but that makes sense to me. I mean, as much as I love conspiracy theories and just thinking about everything that could be, it's a possibility that, I mean, we just want something as crazy as the event itself. So, anyways, I go back to Google and I decided to do a little bit of research on if conspiracy theories have ever proven to be true. So, I try and find a website that would be an easy read or something that I would be interested in. And the first website that I came across just seemed like it was lacking. So I did not like that one. I wasn't all about that one. So I decided to go back and actually choose a different web page, because the one that I have right now, it just doesn't really have the information that I'm seeking. So after a quick scroll through that, I decided to go back to my original page and just try and see if I can find something different. And of course, I came across the Reader's Digest, which love the Reader's Digest. They never lie to me. So I click on that webpage and I find and read about 12 different conspiracy theories. Now, for this research and for this video and for time's sake, not gonna go through all of them, but the first one, gosh, the first one is so gross. So it's called The Horror of Project Sunshine, and the conspiracy part was that the government was stealing dead bodies. First of all, ew. But the truth behind that was that the government was stealing parts of dead bodies because they needed young tissue. Now, that is definitely not normal. You know, I'm not sure what the government or whoever was testing got out of this, but anyways, I scroll on, go to the next one. It's not as interesting, so I'm not really feeling it. So I go to the next one, and I'm hoping that it'll be a little bit more interesting than bad booze. And I mean, of course it is. We got the first lady who ran the United States. Like, that's crazy. I love that. And the conspiracy was a stroke rendered United States President Woodrow Wilson incapable of governing. And the truth came out that she did actually help, but again, that's not really too interesting. It's not like experimenting on dead bodies interesting. So we go to this next one, and of course the government's testing again, and this one was on LSD, on Americans, and it turns out that they were doing a program, and I mean, the people knew about it, but a lot of them left with mental disabilities, which I'm sure they did not assume would happen. Anyways, for my last step, I decided to go to YouTube because that is what I'm most familiar with. Yeah, we got the Judge Faith on there. Let's not worry about that. But I researched conspiracy theories just to see if I can get a different look into the conspiracies or if I can find anything interesting. And all of those look really interesting to me, but for time's sake, I'm not going to click on them. I'm going to go to the main person I watch conspiracy theories from, which is Kendall Ray, and go on her webpage because I know she has a whole bunch of conspiracy theories. And I mean, that's my final step.